All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning and hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Carlos, I'm happy to have you back. I gotta say, how was your travel yesterday? Hopefully uneventful.
Yeah, actually pretty good, man. Those were some good engines going there. Everything stayed intact. So yeah, it was
All
all good, my
the
friend.
cowls
Yeah.
stayed on the engines, the doors stayed on the plane, everything was good.
We landed with all our pieces, so that's awesome. We'll get right back to that, but Peter, I know you got some good data coming out for us today. I see the market reacting right now. Let's go to that.
Yeah, big drop on the market as it reacts to the CPI data, which came out. Whole bunch of CPI numbers. Bottom line, CPI came in above expectations. Not hugely above, but just a little bit above. For instance, month over month was expected to be a 0.3% increase, came out at 0.4, which matches what it was last month. Year over year, we're seeing again 0.1 of a percentage point higher than forecast. The core was 3.7 forecast, 3.8 was the actual number. So in all cases, again, we're up 0.1%, and again, stronger economy, means that the market gets a little bit nervous, as we can see right now with the 5-point drop we're seeing on the SPY and the 7-point drop that we're seeing on the Qs. So we'll see if this recovers after this, but it's not a massive difference from what the expected was. Other than that, we do have a couple other things coming out this morning. The Bowman is speaking at 8:45, so in just a few minutes. Wholesale inventories do come out at 10, so be aware of that if you're trading at the open. And then we have Goolsby speaking at 12:45, and then the March meeting minutes. Got to be aware of that one. 2:00 when those minutes come out. Often the market jumps as the computers read the minutes. And if they see anything that's of concern or that they interpret to be of concern, we could see the market move. Typically, again, we can't say always because there's never an absolute here in the market. There's never an absolute. That was interesting. All right. There is not usually, you should not most times use an absolute. Anyways, but when the market moves, it often recovers that move fairly quickly. So be aware that at 2:00 that we could get this whipsaw action that happens. Now, I don't actually see a speech. Normally that when the minutes come out, that's not true. When the minutes come out, we don't often have a speech afterwards. It's usually just when the forecast comes out, then we get a speech after. So, but today we just have the March meeting minutes that are coming out. So again, 2:00 is the time for that number. So 10 and 2 are the big number times we've got to be aware of after, of course, the CPI number that just came out. Other than that, we got a couple things on the gappers list, which we will talk about presently.
All right, absolutely. We sure do. Taking a look here at our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. We have some good stuff in the green. Sun, Delta, United Airlines, BABA, and then gapping down, we have a bit more. And I expect that list to grow very drastically in a couple of minutes here as the SPY. If the SPY holds this gap down, right? We've seen this before where it runs to the bottom, then shoots back up. We'll see how that's going to look in a couple of minutes here. But already you can see a bunch of tickers coming up on this list here. All right, let's start with our gap up list this morning. Control A, Control X is going to clean our watch list over on trading on Dash Trader Pro. And the first one on the list is Sun, SUUN. Sun this morning is a low flow, 26 million shares traded right now. Is it recent IPO as well? I'm only showing 3 days of data. And if I move over to the left, yeah, so just recently IPO'd, and right now we have 244,000 shares traded. It is up 28%. Hard to borrow. Typically not a stock that I would watch, Peter. I mean, it's just not a whole lot of data yet, and it's not getting great volume either.
No, there's no analysts that follow it, so there's not a lot of detail on this thing. I don't know what to tell you about it. It doesn't look like a good trading prospect for me.
Yeah, well, we're going to skip this one, guys. Moving on to the next one. These two have a catalyst this morning. United Airlines up, but Delta is the one driving things, Peter. What's going on there?
Yeah, Delta had earnings this morning. Good numbers in the quarter. I think what the whole market is reacting to, because we also saw American Airlines that had been on the Gap up list a little bit earlier, seems to have fallen off now. But it's all because of Delta and the fact that they're forecasting extremely strong demand going forward and saying they don't actually have enough planes to meet the demand. Delta pretty bullish on their forward-looking statements, and you're backing it up with a strong quarter. Now, I didn't see them actually increase their forecast as a result of this, but still, the market is taking a very positive look at the status of Delta. And I don't know, a couple of analysts were suggesting Delta is actually going to be the one to lead the market here in the airline sector over the next 2 quarters or so. So, they seem to be well positioned. As you can see on the daily, right, they're coming out the top of this recent range, and it looks like it might be good trading on Delta. We'll have to see, though. It is a NYSE stock, which means despite the fact that we have over 1 million shares traded this morning, you got to be careful with this one because it typically, NYSE stocks just trade a little bit differently, so be aware of that. But I'm going to keep an eye on it for sure as we head to the open today.
Yeah, yeah. Delta, I'm gonna put that on my list this morning, and you have other ones too, like American Airlines. I saw that getting some volume as well. So if you go AAL is the ticker for you there. American Airlines up 1.4 right now, 800,000 shares traded. So got a little bit of volume, moving up slightly, giving some back though. So again, the action is in Delta this morning. We'll be looking at that and maybe United as a secondary. We'll see how that looks a little bit later. Now, on the list, just popping up at the moment is Roblox, a ticker that we haven't seen in quite some time. Just getting over the 200,000 shares traded. As you guys know, anything under 200,000 is not going to show up on our trading terminal scanners here. We upgraded that filter given how much volume we get lately, right? Just kind of fine tune things a little bit. So we're up 2.3, Peter. Not a whole lot of volume, so I'm not sure if there's a big catalyst that's moving this at the time.
I gotta admit, this is the type of headline that makes me feel old. So this is Wow Bo goes all in on the metaverse with the launch of the Dim Sum Palace of Roblox. I understand every one of those words. I don't understand the signature. Wow Bo is bringing its loyalty program, Hot Buns Club, to the metaverse, and that's the headline that I see in Roblox. So if you know the Hot Bun, if you're a member of the Hot Buns Club, let me know why and what you do with the Hot Buns Club. But anyways, and if you know Wow Bo, then I guess maybe this is big news. But for me, I am perplexed. Other than this is the Roblox stuff that Carlos, I do feel old every time I bring it up because I know that you said your kids have used Roblox. This is like beyond. This is after my kids sort of grew up. So I don't know. I guess it's
Yeah,
news. It's
and
big for them.
and I'll have to ask her later because I have no idea what it is either, Peter. So we're right there.
All
Um,
right.
all right.
Well,
All right, so there it is. It's moving it again. Not a whole lot of volume, so maybe just sit on the secondary for now, or just maybe skip it at the moment. I guess. I mean, it continues to pick up volume, 300,000 now. So maybe secondary. We'll do that. Secondary for Roblox today.
maybe I don't know. Roblox has had this habit of coming up on our list occasionally when we get this sort of, I'll say, weird news, or at least it's news that I don't understand, and then it doesn't really trade all that well when the market opens. So maybe today will be different, but the history is not behind it, so it doesn't look that great pre-market, looking at it either. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I think for me, it's more of a having a great trace on it in the past. Hopefully, can get something going. But yeah, does not look great. All right, that covers our gap up list, guys. Let's take a look at our gap down this morning. We do have DX YZ. So DXYZ is on the gap down. And what is this? Destiny stock? Is it ETF, this thing? No, it's not ETF because it's halted, and that
No, it
never
was a recent
happened.
IPO
Okay.
that had come out, and it's just been sort of bopping up and down. As you can see, the price went up to a little over $100 after IPOing at like $7 or $8, something like that, and now it's just
Yep.
coming back down the chain. So no real news on it. It just sort of took off with some volume a little bit after its IPO. I don't even remember this thing IPOing. It wasn't on my list, so I must have been distracted at that point. But yeah, it's. I think that was when I was in Vegas, wasn't it? So no wonder I didn't see it. But yeah, up the chain, back down. Really is all that's happening.
Yeah, yeah, sure was. Um, uh, Sorry, guys, talking in chat here, got distracted a little bit. For those in our BBT community chat room, we are going to be making a couple of changes here. So if you're wondering why we're streaming in two channels, we will be moving back to our main channel, right? So we'll be streaming on both for a while until the transition is done, right? It's something, Peter, you remember we did it with some intentions of how it will work. We tried it not working as well,
Yeah.
and we're quick to say, hey, this is not working, let's make changes back to what was working, right? We're not gonna hold on to stuff that doesn't work. Just like your losers, don't hold on to them, cut them quick and
Yep.
find another trade. So um yeah, man, this looks ugly. I'm gonna stay away from it, and that's gonna bring the next one here this morning. It's gonna be Ion Q. So Ion Q today, let's see here. Oh wow, nice drop here. 4.5 just started, Peter. So this just made our list. Oh well, probably just overall market, right? Anything exciting?
I I haven't seen Ion Q in a while. I used to trade these guys a couple of years ago, but there's no news on this, so I don't know. I assume that it's just reacting to the CPI data because it's there's no independent news on it.
Okay. Yeah. Just overall market stuff, I guess. Nothing happening at the moment independently. We'll skip it. UPST today. If we take a look at this one, this is also dropping 5.6 at the moment. Again, the drop did start after the announcement here. So again, not really independent news, and I really do not like the way this trades. And if I look at this gappers list, there's gonna be a lot of stuff on here with barely any volume like this one, 206,000. Just the overall
Yeah.
market dragging things down. I think today's gonna be a day we start picking your favorites, and there's no way we're gonna cover this entire list, right? It's just way too many. If I just go back and look at the SPY here, Peter, we're continuing to drop. Like there's no bounce right now.
Yeah, I'm
So
actually surprised by that. So seems like a little bit of an overreaction to the CPI data, which wasn't significantly off the number. I mean, or above the target. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's continuing to drop. What can you say? The volume is continuing. I mean, look at the volume spike up right after the announcement at 8:30, and it's sustained that volume so far this morning. So, yeah, maybe we're going to see some big moves here at the open. So far, it looks good. One at the top of our list here, UBS does have some news independent of the CPI data. UBS is facing tough regulation from the Swiss government. And after, I guess it took them a while to come up with some new regulations, but after they had to rescue Credit Suisse, they want to make sure they don't have to do that again with any other bank, and UBS is going to be facing some tougher measures, but 22 of them, in fact. So that's the news there. Again, it's a bank. Banks are tough traders most days, so but that's what's got it gapping. I noticed that we also have a couple of Bitcoin offerings. Bitcoin, Bitcoin seems to have dropped about the same time as the market. So I didn't think Bitcoin. This is sort of ironic, isn't it? That Bitcoin was sensitive to the CPI data. Isn't it supposed to be completely independent of other market forces? But anyways, whatever.
yeah, not sure.
Bitcoin started to drop
Yeah.
when the CPI data came out.
I see Clean Spark and some other ones on here as well. My favorite, obviously, Coin is a good one for me. I like trading that one. I'm gonna put that one on the list. I've been watching it the last couple of days before our again amazing event, which we'll talk about in a few minutes here. What an awesome time. It's like I'm still coming off the high of meeting everyone and just having an awesome time in Vancouver. And Peter, I don't know about you, but as I was getting on the plane, I was just chatting with Melanie here on the chat. The sun comes out and it's a beautiful day as we're heading out, opposed to the cloudiness we got for the most time there. So it's just not fair, not fair. But Vancouver was beautiful, man. I was looking at the window. I'm like, really, this cannot have happened yesterday. It is what it is.
No,
Either way,
no one promised fair, Carlos.
that's true. So you got Marathon also, Mara, Mara, also dropping this morning. You can watch that one as well. That one has 1 million shares traded, so a whole lot more volume. I think it's worth putting on a secondary here as well. All right, let's take a look here. Clean Spark is another one you can watch, but for the most part, we have EVs. Let's talk about EVs. Rivian, Tesla, also making a part of this list. Obviously, Teslas are one of our go-to tickers. It is down 2.4 this morning, 2.2 million shares traded. I really like this one. It was great yesterday too. It traded really, really clean and nice. So Tesla on the list for us this morning. Peter, I'm not sure if there's anything EV related today. It's just kind of the SPY taking over everything, right?
No,
So
I mean Tesla had that news a few days ago, and they continues to move on it. I mean, I guess there seems to be a union strike in Sweden at I guess their facility in Sweden. Elon said that saying that the trouble was over in Sweden and it's been resolved. The union came out and said, "No, it ain't. We're still haven't had our concerns addressed." So I don't know. I mean, it's the indirect language, right? Elon says the storm has passed on that front. Things are reasonably good in Sweden, and then the union comes out and says, "No, they're not." So they're clearly still arguing there. But I mean, again, that's a relatively small part of their global operations. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tesla's been moving the last few days. Some good volume, some good movement. So worth keeping an eye on, as it usually is.
yeah, fully agree. Let me say I agree 100%. It was so funny to meet members and kind of call out some of the stuff me and you say all the time that we might not notice. And agree
Yeah,
100% is one of them that I say quite often. So we'll
you
get it.
do.
Yeah. So I agree
You you
100% with that.
you. One of these days, you're going to agree 99%, and I will be very concerned.
You will be
So
shocked.
that
You'll be like, oh,
1%,
I must have pissed Carlos off or
slippage.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, friends, let's take a look here at what else is on this gap down list. I think that's pretty much it. Peter, anything you want to call out? Me, the list is huge, but anything else you like on here? I do see AMD on there.
Did you? I didn't see
Yeah, I
AMD
saw it.
earlier.
Yes, at the all at the
Maybe.
bottom. Yeah,
Okay, it's possible. AMD is gapping down just over 2%. I don't see anything special. I mean, really, all of this move came with the CPI numbers, so I think it's just moving with the market. I have to admit, I was influenced by our Vancouver summit. It's amazing the stuff you can learn when you go to these summits, have conversations with people. Avi's presentation was very influential for me, and because he sort of talked about his very simple trading style. And anyways, he's got me looking at 30-minute charts as a result of it. And I just noticed that the close yesterday on AMD, I'm sure if a 30-minute chart is something that's easy for you to call up there, but it's
yeah, we
funny when you
should be
take a
able
different
to.
look because the daily doesn't do much for me. But
Here it is.
uh, if you look at a 30-minute chart just over the last couple of days, look at the yesterday's close line, and then look at how many times of the last 3 days it's actually sort of used that level as resistance, that 171. I mean, look, it happened back on Monday, it happened on Tuesday, it happened at the close too. It's like you've got yeah, look at that level there. So suddenly that level's looking like a strong area of resistance over the last few days. So we'll see if it comes back up and touches that. Unfortunately, with the CPI drop, it's now moved pretty far away from that. So that may be tough to hit. But anyways, it's great, right? You start to. So Jairus is saying that looking at the 30-minute too, thanks to Avi. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome to be able to see
the,
that.
we did Sufi 90. Did the presentations? No, they're not publicly available. They were available to those that went, but no, we haven't sort of made them public. I guess that's the benefit of going. Then you get all that type of material.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, let's take it over to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. Again, it's a big, big list. What's on your deck today that you are looking forward to on this very active market morning? So Nvidia loves 840. Let's take a look there. Nvidia over from our chat by Will. Will Nvidia at the moment is down 1.5, 1.3 million shares traded. I love the volume on it. I gotta say, this volume is pretty nice given the way the market is moving. AMD's picking up nice volume too as well. And I gotta say, this day, look at the support on AMD as well, Peter. I know we talked about the resistance, but the support has been also right on there, 166, and we're just on that at the moment. I think Nvidia,
Yeah.
AMD's on the deck for sure.
We have
And
to keep in mind, there's probably going to be, continued price action on this. Carlos, yesterday we were talking about Intel came out with some announcements that they've got a new chip, what's it called, the Gaudi 3 AI chip. Anyways, they said that it's better than Nvidia's, and they're ready to take them on in the markets. So, everybody's going to be producing an AI chip that's going to beat the big guys. So that's I don't know. I mean, like I said yesterday, what's Intel going to say if they come up with a new chip? It's not quite as good as Nvidia's, but it's the best we could do. Like
yeah,
they're of course going to say it's industry beater. So whether it is or not, I have no idea. Right, the reviews will come out and people will test them and figure out which is which. But it doesn't really matter, right? It creates good competition.
yeah.
And I think it creates movement on all of these semiconductor stocks.
Yeah, I was in the green before just the numbers came out this morning. So dropping down now a little bit. It's got volume, 1 million shares traded. Might be a great possible to see how that looks at the market open with that news and see how much that's going to drive it, if anything. But you're right, Peter. Everything is like everything is new chip AI. You're not gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be just as good, but not quite as the Nvidia one. Yeah. Um, all right, let's take a look. What else you guys like this morning on your list? VPOP. Oh no, that's a price volume. Okay. What else? TSM. Yes, TSM was being talked about a lot in the last couple of days. And this morning we are down here slightly. Again, 800,000 shares traded. I prefer to go with AMD and Nvidia today as far as the tech semis type stocks. So I'm gonna go with those. They got great volume. But TSM has been trading well. We've been looking at that for a couple of days. So if you like this one, you can put it on the list. I'm going to go with these other two. And even Intel today, again, not a great one right now, but I prefer to look at that one given their individual news they have today.
Yeah, TSM's got an awesome market, right? Because they build basically a large percentage of the world's secondary chip market. So there's the sexy chips, which is always it's always been the CPUs, and recently, of course, the GPUs, which is what the CPU is always what Intel had specialized in. If you go back, the Intel Inside stickers that you still see on new laptops sometimes. Obviously, with the graphical units, that's what NVIDIA's famous for. AMD's straddled both of those. And those are the sexy chips, but they don't live alone, right, on a circuit board. There's all these chips that basically TSM says, you guys take the glory, we'll make all the other stuff. And their business is massive. So they've really seen a big sales boost because of all the drive for everybody to get new AI compute devices out there. And it's I mean, I like their business model. I just don't like the way they trade. Long-term investment, okay. Trading, TSM's always been tough. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I find on it. So that's why I don't have it on my list. Again, I know lately they've been doing some stuff and people like it, but I prefer AMD Nvidia for the most part. What else, guys? What else, guys, like this morning? Taking a look at TSM. We did look at that one. Nvidia. Yeah, they do, Vic. Yeah, they make some chips for Nvidia and AMD as well. So it's not it's it's a competition, but it's not direct. It's a lot of overlap,
Well, yeah,
especially you
they're
know.
you're right. I mean, they've got I love their business model because they don't do the sexy stuff. They do produce. You're right. They do produce chips for Nvidia and AMD. I don't actually know if they produce you know, the main
Yeah,
GPU CPU units. They could, for all I know, but whatever they do, they white label them and put the other company's name on them. So again, they're happy to sit in the background, right? They'll let those other companies take the glory, but they get the benefit. They certainly see the business growth as a result.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do? Okay. Trader Zero says they do. So yeah, I don't know their product lineup. Because I know they do in certain markets. Remember we had the news where the US government was not going to be allowing certain chip manufacturers to produce for other competitive, competitive country-based markets, and they were leveraging some of Taiwan's manufacturing to get around that. So, but anyways, whatever. They make lots of chips. They do good business. They're not great traders.
Yeah. Very true. All right. I don't see a lot of the tickers that you guys like this morning. Anything else you want me to look at before we jump into announcements? I don't see anything else over in our chat now. On YouTube, it's pretty quiet for the most part. Just a reminder, on YouTube, we are transitioning our pre-market show, this show, back to our main channel, Bareboot Traders. So make sure that you are looking over there. We are streaming live there already. The link we'll share with you guys in a second. And then let me just go ahead, copy this link. So as you guys transition over, especially our good long-time followers, Melanie, CFC, Josh, all you guys over in our BBT community, GS, will be moving over. Stefan, good morning, guys. Gregor, good morning. We'll be moving over there going forward. So we'll stream on both for a while so we do the transition. All right.
Yeah, a couple of things maybe to mention. So first to Philippe from Belgium, who I guess just joined. CPI numbers came out at 8:30. That's why we're seeing the big market drop. CPI in the U.S., so the consumer price index was slightly higher than expected, which has pushed the market downward. So that's why you're seeing everything move if you missed that earlier. And a couple of the ones that people are mentioning, Raghav is suggesting mRNA. Now, John had an awesome sort of one and done type trade yesterday on mRNA, as it had a move, and he was able to capture that. You can see that big white candle on mRNA, big move up yesterday. Wasn't really on any particular news that I could see, but it doesn't really matter. He captured it and captured the move, and it was a good one. I don't expect any follow on to that today. I mean, it could, I guess, but I don't see any reason particularly for that. And then Baba, we should have mentioned this morning because I was looking at that earlier, has news, a little sort of indirect news. I thought it was interesting that Jack Ma, who hasn't been in the news a lot in the last little while, has been very quiet after sort of backing away from managing Baba and the group of companies. Issued a memo to sort of an open memo to all staff saying, keep the faith, keep your chin up. I know it's been tough, but I see good times ahead. Focus in, double down on AI, and life will be good. So a little bit of positive support for Baba and its employees from Jack Ma, which had it actually moving in the early hours. It, of course, then dropped like everything else did when the CPI numbers came out. So.
Yeah. Might be worth watching. I love the volume. 1.1 million shares traded. I have not looked at Baba in a very long time. This is one of my good old buddies that you guys are mentioning here in chat. It went to the point where it traded very, very well. So it's my favorite Chinese ticker to look at. The fact that they're even doing something is probably worth watching for me. So we'll put it on the list there. All right, excellent. Guys, let's go over to our chat room, barebootTraders.com, where you can find out what's happening for the next 2 weeks in our events. Today's Wednesday. Yes, today's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Bareboot Traders. Click on webinars.
Yeah,
see what's going on.
Let's just mention for yesterday, our what had been a scheduled webinar with Thor at 8 o'clock. It had to be rescheduled due to some travel complications that he had. So that webinar will happen on Thursday at 7 o'clock. So right before he does his mentorship session. So it'll be a 2-hour Thoropalooza. Anyways, I just made up a term. With Thor on Thursday, 7 and 8 o'clock. He'll be doing 2 sessions back to back. And then next week, we'll be back to regular schedule with Lenny on the 16th. Okay, so apologies for anybody that had saved time in their calendar, but we did mention it in the room, tried to let everybody know, posted it on to the website as soon as possible, and of course put the notice in the webinar room as well. Tonight we should be on regular schedule here with Jared Tendler, who's going to be doing our psychology session at 8 o'clock regular time. That will be the next in this series. He's going to talk about how you correct the damage from high expectations. And if you've got, if you want a little bit of a perfectionist, that can be a detrimental in your trading because it's impossible to be perfect in trading. You never get the tops or bottoms perfect. You never get all the trades you want. It's a constant piece of work, I guess, to get better and better, but you'll never be perfect. So if you expect that out of yourself, that can cause problems. We'll talk about that tonight at 8 o'clock. And then next week, Mike will be back talking about the trader's journey. He's got a regular series of those, and they're always a good session. So hopefully you put that in your calendar for next week. That's what we've got on our Thursday psychology series. If you want to join us at Bear Bull Traders, we always have the membership options that are available for you. Those are available all the time. You can use the code PreMarket24 for the intro offer. You can use the basic or elite monthly package, the elite annual, which is if you want a full year, or if you're ready to jump in with both feet, then the elite platinum is by far the best deal. Peak Capital Bootcamp gets bundled with that, which itself is normally about $3,000. Basically, we throw in a year of elite annual with it, which makes it a real deal if you're looking to do that. I wouldn't recommend it for brand new traders, but anybody who's looking to accelerate their trading journey, who's got a little bit of experience or just wants to up their game, check it out. At least consider it. Peak Capital Bootcamp is always popular with those that have gone. Again, we're all biased here, but we openly invite you to talk to anybody that's been to a boot camp and let them tell you firsthand whether they loved it, hated it, and whether they'd recommend it for you, because we have confidence in the value that it delivers. So check it out, pcapitaltrading.com, place to go. Use the code PLATINUM if you want to get that deal. All right, so there's our offers. Don't forget that all of our scanners and everything are brought to you courtesy of tradingterminal.com. So we thank them for that, and we use them here every morning. All right. With that, let's set some levels. Actually, we're doing good on time this morning. Carlos, thank goodness you're here, because yesterday, I got to say, things were rough and very stressful. I had John on for a couple of minutes, but he was getting an echo, and it just didn't work out. So I ran it solo, but and I really actually was running a little slow too. But so I'm really happy that you're back, because man, it's tough work.
It's not easy. It's not easy, especially it's not easy when you don't do it every day, right? That's the thing, right? Once you do it every day, it runs into a flow. But yeah, man, thanks for covering. And that's why no wonder
No, no.
I joined later in the show, and John was frozen staring at the screen, and I'm like, what's John
He
doing?
was.
But I
We
missed
kept
the
him with
morning.
a stoic
Yeah,
look.
that's awesome. All right.
Mostly because I couldn't figure out how to change the picture or get rid of it, so I just left him there
I
staring
don't
at
know. I
us.
don't even know how to do it with vMix. Actually, oh yeah, so you
Uh,
changed to something else. Gotcha. Friends, for all those over on our BBT community channel, just another reminder, we are moving over to our main channel, the pre-market show, that is. So still follow both channels, but this pre-market show is going to move to our main channel, Bear Bull Traders. So if you search Bear Bull Traders on YouTube, it's going to come right up. We're live actually on both. So if you want to make the switch now, that would be awesome. Head over there, hit that thumbs up. We really, really appreciate it. So hit the thumbs up on both. That'd be nice. So this is an opportunity for you to hit it twice for the BBT community. Friends, we got a great list today. We got a great setup for this morning with the overall market. Right now, we have Delta on the list. They have news, as Peter mentioned. I have Coin on here as well, dropping pretty nicely with all the news for the market. Tesla, 3.3 million shares. I love that type of volume on Tesla today. AMD also picking up volume here, showing some weakness. And Baba was trying to have a good day, but the market's kind of dragging it down here. Only up 1.7. And it's my favorite Chinese ticker. We'll take a look at it today. So, all right, let's set some levels. Start with Delta here this morning. High of the pre-market at the moment, we are sitting at 49.90. So we'll slam one there. And then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days, marking your low of the pre-market as well. Even within the pre-market high and low at the moment, you do have a couple of levels off the daily. 49.15, we got to definitely mark that there. And then you also have 48.08.06 this morning. Two levels there within the pre-market that are worth noting. And then I believe we have been higher. Oh, maybe not. Is this a 52-week high? Looks like on the pre-market high there. Let's see. Do we have anything else before that? Yeah, we should, right? I think it was at
It's
80.
certainly been higher back
Yeah.
in
Okay.
2019, 18.
Yeah.
But
I had to go back to 2021 to get some levels above the pre-market high, which is sitting at 49.90. That's going to be around 50 50.77, and then a very nice level over at 51.79. So those are your daily levels of possible support and resistance that we're getting here off of Delta with their news at the moment, showing great volume. Coin, let's remove some of the levels that we had there from previous trading. Towards the top where your pre-market high is at, you have highs and lows for the last two trading days. Are these two lines, all these red lines we have on there. Going to mark the high of the pre-market at 247, so that's going to be right there. Previous day close towards the bottom of that, and all the way at the bottom you do have your low of your pre-market sitting at 236.55. So 236.55, your low of your pre-market. We have seen support there in the past about a week and a half ago. So right on there, that's slamming right to the penny, but we're still seeing a lot of weakness. Let's see if that can hold this morning. Below that, in case we do decide to drop further, 228.86, and then all the way down here, I think that'll be a stretch unless things go really south here. 215.79, the next level on the daily that has a significant change in direction. Here is Tesla. Tesla's just kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Had a great day yesterday. Very strong news the last couple of days, trying to get a bounce going. High of the pre-market on Tesla, 178.50. The low is at the low of yesterday, so right on there, 172.02. Don't have to do too much to mark too many levels on here. You're pretty set. If you zoom out, look at the bigger picture, the highs and lows are doing an amazing job here at the moment. If we do decide to recover and get back into the green above the pre-market high, next level on the daily, which is a real good one, 181.50. And you can see right on there where you're getting that area of resistance in plenty of days on the daily here. So that is Tesla for you, 181.50. And love the volume. Continues to climb, 3.2 million at the moment. AMD just hanging on to this 166 support. Low of the pre-market right now, which is looking to somewhat break, 166.21. Below that, we've been slightly lower, not by much, maybe another couple of 80 cents here, 165.63 towards the bottom there. And that's the most recent low, I believe, on AMD. We'll have to go back to February. So February on the daily, great level around 161.96 for AMD. So there you have it. Towards the top, highs and lows of the last two trading days above this range. Look at the range. Peter talked about this level here, this 171 level. So again, a lot of resistance there. If we somehow manage to get above that, 175.35 is the next area where you see a lot of touches on the daily there. So all right, excellent. Let's take a look at Baba this morning. Stefan, yeah, Boogie Woogie. Yeah, we're moving back. And again, we're moving back to the channel because I get a lot of messages. Why did you guys stop the pre-market show? I'm like, no, we never stopped, right? Because people go to YouTube and they search Bearable Traders and they get the main channel. So we never stop making the show. We do it every day as much as we can. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we're moving back. We want to make it easy for you guys to find it. And I think that's going to work much better. 75.31, guys. We have a level here. That is a great daily level on Baba. High of the pre-market is 75.86, 75.31, and then low of the pre-market at the moment, 74.11. So again, a little bit of, not a little bit, a lot of volume for Baba today. I am hoping this is going to work out well today for them. Above the pre-market high at 75.86, we're going to mark down 76.87, and then also not the best level, but 78. That'll be the next level I see there. We'll see if that can play some kind of part this morning if the market changes direction. But right now, going back to the SPY, we finish our levels here, continues to hang out at the low of the day here. Well, that's not the SPY. Here's the SPY. Yeah, continues to hang out at the low of the day at the moment. Low of the pre-market, 511.28 at the moment. And man, it looks like it looks weak. It looks like it wants to break further. So this should be a very exciting market open this morning. Peter, anything on your end? We got a couple of minutes here. Anything on your end that you like? Any questions maybe that anybody wants to answer? Anything we missed?
Nothing we haven't talked about. I mean, I did post the IPOs that normally you list up top there. The only thing that we got IPOing today maybe is MNDR. I feel a little sheepish about that one because they keep pulling it back. I think I've had it up there like 4 times over the last 2 weeks because they keep saying it's going to release and it hasn't yet. So maybe today. maybe today is the day where it'll actually go out. It's probably going to be a big dud. So, it's one of those like the eagerly anticipated, and then it goes wah wah wah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, it's
Um,
not a big offering. Later this week, we have some bigger ones that maybe will come out and maybe be better. But anyways, we'll see. Other than that, yeah, it's I'm really surprised at this move on the SPY due to the CPI numbers. I thought it would have bounced back a little bit. The fact that it's sustained this, even with the lowered volume now, we're seeing the volume finally drop off as we head towards the open a little bit. Yeah, it looks like this move might take. So we'll see what happens at the open. But I'll be ready. Fingers on the keys, but I'll be skeptical until I see confirmation of appropriate movement. Right? Don't just make an assumption about direction and trade on that basis. Wait to see confirmation before you make your move. That's always important in trading.
yeah. Take a look here, guys. We don't have many moderators yet on their list here, but so far we got trading mom Susan, we got Thor, we got Peter, and we'll wait to see some more on here so we see what our moderators are watching this morning. So starting with Susan, she's looking at Nvidia, Tesla, INTC again, all in play this morning. Thor will be looking at AMD, Apple, Delta. We didn't look at Apple today. I don't think no one mentioned this, so we'll look at that. We'll see how Apple looks this morning. And then futures as well. Peter, as you mentioned, here's your IPOs. Your list this morning, AMD, Delta with the news there, and BABA, which again, it's nice to have it on the list with the volume we have, 1.2 now, up 1.6. One of the few things that are green, both got positive catalysts, BABA and Delta this morning. Everything else, for the most part, is in the red and trying to bounce at least or find some support here. Your secondary list, Tesla, Apple, and Coin this morning. And that is Peter. Wait to see what other moderators have on their list. They throw that out. And we are watching the SPY go for that retest of the low of the pre-market right now, 511.28. So here is our two green tickers. We have Delta, right? So pulling off from the pre-market highs there, up still 3%. And then we have BABA also pulling way off from the highs. Was up pretty nice here, hitting 75.86, hanging out at 75.31, and just kind of giving some back this morning. All right, let's take a look at Apple. I see, oh man, Apple. Yeah, I mean, it's got the drop here, got great volume. Another one that we can look at as well. Our usual suspects are going to be getting some amazing volume this morning. And I like the daily, very similar to AMD. It's got that area support that we're sitting on AMD. Like AMD's support it's going to be fun to watch this morning. Are we going to hang around here, go lower, or what on AMD? So love the day. Looks very, very clean. As far as moderators goes, I don't see any other moderators on here this morning. So either they're
Yeah,
trying to
everybody's.
get readjusted to the time zone. What's
I
what's happening?
guess I was still recovering from Vancouver. Although I have to admit, this time it was so busy with all the events and activities. We had a
Yeah,
meet up with all our boot campers. We obviously had the session, which was fantastic. But so it's always hectic for us, right? Because we're working the full time. We didn't have much of a chance to really party. We usually go and party, a lot, and that makes us a little
yeah.
rougher. I didn't really happen this time. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm finally growing up and I didn't drink as much. But
Well, you know what, Peter, when we were done around 12, 11, wrapping things up, our bodies is sitting at a different time zone, man. It's 1, 3 in the
yeah, that's
morning, 2 in the morning. It's a little rough.
yeah, that's a
um,
good point. The
yeah,
3 hour time zone does make a big difference because, like you said, right, it might be 11 o'clock local time and it still feels reasonable, but your body's saying it is 2 a.m., dude. Like, what are you doing, man? So.
yeah, yeah,
Or they didn't invite me. Omar, that could be it too. Maybe that was it. I was just left behind because they don't want the old, you know, annoying guy coming with them. So I can
yeah,
accept that.
yeah, absolutely. I cannot pronounce your name, my friend. If yeah, I'm not gonna try. Peter, you probably could do a better job, modest. But yeah, happy Eid to all our Muslim traders. So awesome, man. Thank you for bringing that up. I can't pronounce your name, so apologies for that. But that's a long, long word there. So yeah, absolutely.
And
Friends,
for the record, Donald, HR is an honorary title, and I leave that hat behind when I go to any meetup. So yeah, it's that's not part of what we do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Malik in chat, absolutely, my friend. Great to meet you. I think Malik was trading from the airport as well with me in Paris. So he was across from us as we were going flying back, and he was trading in Paris across yesterday with an AMD and
Paris.
Tesla.
Yeah, I guess you were holding the video camera, right? As he videoed that little
Yeah,
snippet.
yeah. Told me he was.
He
Yeah,
look
I.
in
Yeah.
the room yesterday. Brian was saying he was looking at Tesla, and he said, "I know Paris is trading this," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know." He said he was trading. I don't know what. And then that video comes out, and sure enough, he was trading Tesla exactly as Brian had predicted. So, traded Tesla and AMD yesterday, and did great on both. So. I'm sure he was happy. It seems like he can just pick up a terminal and trade anywhere, so and make money. So good for him.
Yeah, yeah. All right, friends, that is our time. Oh, I have Brian's list. Brian, let's bring over what our buddies watching the men of the hour here: AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Google, and Delta for Brian as he gets ready to trade live with Andrew this morning. So that'll be up available in our chat room. If you ever want to join us and see what's going on there, head over to bearwithtraders.com. You can use pre-market 24, gets you in for 7 days for $24. You can join us there for the live trading this morning. So, friends over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Reminder: we'll be streaming on both sessions probably for this week, both channels. But we'll be moving over to that Bear Bull Traders main channel. So make sure you head over there, subscribe, and like, and we really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. Peter, anything we missed?
I think we got it covered.
All right, excellent. Guys, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Trade smart, everybody.